Liverpool above all seem willing to get serious with the 21-year-old, and here's the really sexy part, given that they're ready to present a monstrous offer. This video is being sponsored by our friends at Surfshark. Now, you've probably heard people talking about VPN providers a lot, and I'm going to explain to you why it's a plus and why hopefully you should go with our friends at Surfshark. So Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to look at the internet entirely anonymously and unlock the world's largest Netflix libraries, the likes of the USA and Japan. It also keeps you safe and secure from hackers. Let's imagine you're out and about, you're having a cup of coffee, you're in college, you're in the pub, something like that. They use industry-leading measures, uncrackable encryption, and the most secure VPN protocols to keep you safe and secure while you're having a look on the internet. Also, one subscription will run across all of your devices, meaning that there is no need to look elsewhere. One subscription, you got your phone covered, your laptop covered, whatever it is that you need. Surfshark is really easy to install as well. And right now, you can get an amazing 85% off and 3 months additional free by using our link in the description and the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. That is 85% off and 3 months additional free, meaning it works out at less than $2 a month. Now, this offer runs until the end of this year only. So if you're looking for a VPN provider, look no further. Our friends at Surfshark have got you covered. Let's start off with Enzo Fernandez, and we'll start with DiMarzio, who has said Enzo Fernandez, who's a world champion, has his eyes set on the big clubs in the world. Liverpool above all seem willing to get serious with the 21-year-old, and here's the really sexy part, given that they're ready to present a monstrous offer. That is the type of words that we Liverpool fans definitely can get on board with. But it's not all champagne and skittles, because we're not the only ones interested in Enzo Fernandez. As I've been saying to you guys for the longest time, you cannot believe a word that comes out of the mouth of anybody connected to Real Madrid or any Real Madrid friendly media with regards to the players they are or are not interested in, because, much like Tyson Fury, they change their opinion and their mind every 5 minutes. So let's see what Sebastian Schroer has said about Real Madrid's interest. He has said Real Madrid will go for Enzo Fernandez in January with an eye to activating his release clause. Now, this release clause must be the 120 million euro, because I've only ever seen one media outlet talk about the lower release clause, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Marca. I could be wrong, and I'm open to being corrected on that, but I believe they said that the release clause was actually about 70. It doesn't seem to be the case. Everywhere else has been reporting that there is a 120 million euro release clause, and as we said to you guys yesterday as well, a River Plate fan page have also mentioned that they're expecting a $97 million offer for Enzo Fernandez to Benfica. And why might that be of interest to them? Well, because they have a 25% sell-on clause in Enzo Fernandez deal. So if he did go to Liverpool or anywhere else, they would be entitled to a pretty significant amount of money. If, let's say, it was 100 million quid, that is 25 million on the way to River Plate. So good business from their perspective for a player that they sold for 10 million just 5-6 months ago. So that's where we are with Enzo Fernandez. Look, I can't add anything to it other than I know the interest is there. That's apparent. That's clear. All the top journalists are speaking about it. It's lovely to see a lot of stuff saying that he fancies Liverpool. That's a good move for him. We hope that happens. But there is always those lingering doubts, isn't there, for us Liverpool fans, as how do we get the money for this? How do we get the money to buy Jude Bellingham and Enzo Fernandez? Now, I'm not saying Liverpool can't afford it. We can. Mo Chatterer, many other good financial-based journalists or Twitter users have shown that it is possible for Liverpool to be able to do this through amortization of the costs across the length of the contract and numerous other things that I'm just not qualified to speak about. But we do have FSG as owners. But there could be a twist in there. Oh, there may be a twist, my friends. Yesterday, it was widely reported that FSG, along with LeBron James, are going to be buying a new NBA franchise in Las Vegas, and that will cost around $4 billion. So where do they get the money for that? Well, the obvious answer is perhaps Liverpool sails a little bit further along. Perhaps that's why we're being linked with all these players. It's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, but we just don't know yet. So we'll continue to follow it and we'll continue to move on. Now we'll twist our attention over to Jude Bellingham. You may not have heard of Jude Bellingham. I certainly don't think I've ever mentioned him here on the channel. You know me, folks. I'm very quiet when it comes to these things. But There's a report from Julien Laurent, who's a very, very prominent French journalist and works with ESPN on occasion. And he said, money remains an issue for Liverpool when it comes to making additions in the January window, especially as they look to enter a bidding war for Jude Bellingham in the summer. Now, on the face of it, that sounds like a worrying thing. But to me, it makes sense. I never expected Liverpool to go huge in January. I always expected us to bring in a midfielder, and I still hope that we do. But realistically, I did think, okay, 30, 40 million quid maybe, which is why the links to Sofiane Amrabat and players of kind of that price point made sense to me. Because the summer is when we will most likely sign Enzo Fernandez, if we sign him, and Jude Bellingham. And that is going to cost probably upwards of £200 million. So on the face of it, you probably get a bit worried when you read that, but it does make sense when you think it through, because it could be a busy summer and the club will need to spend a lot of money. So just doing what we need to do in January, and we do need to sign a midfielder. I can understand where Julien Laurent is coming from. Now comes the funny part of the stream where Mr. Rio Ferdinand, yes, the same Rio Ferdinand that wouldn't take me up on that £5 charity bet at the time, Rio has pleaded for Manchester United to sign Jude Bellingham. He said, Manchester United, bring him here, make that your home, Jude. You come and help change the culture and take the club to the heights it should be at. Not going to happen, Rio. Did you not see the video, Rio, where he laughed at the idea of joining United when one of the fans asked him? He knows that United, whilst a big club, I will never deny that, whilst a historic club, they just aren't in the place right now where Jude Bellingham would consider coming into. Maybe 2-3 years down the line, if this had have happened, maybe his eyes could have been changed or his thought process could have been changed. But right now, I think most United fans in their heart of hearts will probably know it's not the right time for them to be able to attract a player like Jude Bellingham, who is going to want to come in and, you know, be at a club that is a bit more further along. Now, I understand our midfield isn't brilliant. I understand that we have deficiencies there, but it's probably one of the few areas I think that we do, which is why this prospect to Jude Bellingham is probably something that he's licking his lips for, because why wouldn't he be? He wants to come to Liverpool Football Club, like I've been telling you. But it is funny to see Rio begging, because well, it's just funny to see Rio begging, really. Right, now we move on to the next story of the day, and this is around Real Madrid again. You don't remember at the start of the video I told you that you can never believe a word that comes out of the Madrid media or anybody affiliated to the club when it comes to transfers? Well, the flip-flop behaviour is carrying on again. So they did want Enzo Fernandez a couple of weeks ago, then they did want him according to today. Same thing now for Jude Bellingham. So this comes from Ficajes, who we like to say have a timeshare on Bullshit Island. Real Madrid have changed their minds about being unwilling to pay in excess of €100 million for Jude Bellingham, with the club now willing to offer €150 million for the midfielder as they battle with Liverpool and Manchester City. You can battle, you can try, but Florentino, my El Mucker, he isn't going to Real Madrid. It is not the right time in his career for that move to Real Madrid. I'm not going to sit here and try and make Real Madrid out to be a joke or a bad club. They're far from it. They're a brilliant club. They're the most successful club in European football. But it isn't the right fit for Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's family know that. Jude Bellingham will know that. And maybe if Jude Bellingham was a 26, 27-year-old, this move to Real Madrid may appeal to him. But right now, it's Liverpool as long as we pay the money. So Florentino, you're going to have to look elsewhere, my man. And best of luck. Right, now we move on to another interesting twist that doesn't really have much to do with Liverpool. Or does it? Kylian Mbappe is determined to leave Paris Saint-Germain. And that's according to Sport, who I can't remember if they're a Spanish or Portuguese publication. I don't know. Maybe you can help me with that in the comments. But it says he's determined to leave PSG and be willing to lower his salary to do so. Hang on, what? Can you hear that? It's the sound of PSG reversing a couple of more truckloads of cash up to Kylian's gaff. But with Liverpool considering signing the forward if he is available. Now, I'm optimistic. I love transfer talk. I love getting involved in it. But I can't see a world where we can afford Kylian Mbappe. I just cannot see that happening. I've seen his mum point at a Liverpool shirt, smiling in pictures and stuff. His mum obviously clearly has a soft spot for us, and that's brilliant. And would I have Kylian Mbappe? Well, of course I would. I'm not an idiot, but I don't think we can afford it. Still nice though. And finally, a little bit of news on Naby Keita. AC Milan are carefully monitoring Naby Keita's situation, as he will not sign a new deal at Liverpool, although his wages and injury record may prove to be a stumbling block for the Serie A champions. That comes from Calcio Mercato. You can have him. Simple as that, lads. You know, all the reasons they've been worried about there, the same reasons why I don't want him to sign or get a new contract at Liverpool. Can't deny the man's talents, but we don't see enough of those talents. So for me, I'm still going to say what I've always said. I don't think he's earned a new contract. I think it's time to draw a line under it and move on. That is it for me, my friends. Just a reminder, tomorrow we're going to be live from about 7:15 on the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel. If you want to come over and join me for a watch along of our game against Manchester City, it is a tasty one to get the Reds back in action. And I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I wish you and your families a happy holiday season wherever in the world you're watching. I hope that it's filled with love, prosperity, and lots of happy memories. I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.